course is, are you ready for a story? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay. So the previous story we told, let's be honest now, Janie Mac.
Bring us a cup of tea.
Oh dear. Okay, that last story, I think we could describe it as being sex adjacent, I think. Yeah. There was hints there, okay? Not done, but definitely adjacent, okay? Adjacent. Yeah. Adjacent means beside. So I think, what the hell, let's look for another folk tale that is not adjacent, it is full on. Okay? I think we need to go pornography disguised as ancient Scottish folk tale. We just need to do it. And I'm going to try to keep my clothes on. Use are ordered to restrain me. If I get too, throw yourselves on me. Cover me. Just get me too crazy. Yeah, do the thing. Thank you. All right. So this is a story. Before I explain the story, it's a story. Gee, how do you get to this story delicately? It's a story about how babies are made. Okay. Just in case anybody doesn't know. All right. And it's a bit confusing because babies in Scotland are made differently from babies in Ireland, alright? There's a difference thing, there's a difference. Like in Ireland, if you want a baby, if you want a wee boy, and we all know this, you catch a leprechaun, you slap in the arse once, you get a wee boy. If you want a wee girl, you get a leprechaun, you slap in the arse 3 times, you get a wee girl. It's so easy once you catch a leprechaun, okay? In Scotland it's different, and do you know, I went into Scotland, history of Scotland, but I'm going very, very briefly explain why sex is more complicated in Scotland, okay? So, strap in, okay? This could take a moment. Alright, so Scotland, once upon a time, was a pagan country, everybody did a pagan thing with that. And then I think they became Catholic for a while, and done Catholic things like that, and then it became Protestant for a while, and done things like that, and it was all very good. And it was wonderful, it was pagans, it was Catholics, Protestants, they all loved each other, it was like Woodstock, okay? Except for when some of the crazy pagans killed all the Christians, or the Christians killed all the pagans, or the Catholics killed all the Protestants, the Protestants killed all the Catholics, and then the Protestants would kill all the other Protestants, and the Catholics killed all the Catholics, and then they'd all go and invade England. So, anyway, blame it on them. So anyway, it all got very, very confusing. Anyway, it eventually kind of resolved itself. This will explain, it's also me havering because I'm embarrassed at the next story, but I'm going to get there. So, at some point in the 16th century, it was Woodstock. There was Catholics, there was Protestants, there was dissenters, there was folk, there was hippies, they were all kind of doing their thing, smoked their spliffs, it was all cool. But there was a man, and he had a beard on him, okay? He was called John Knox, okay? John Knox, he wasn't happy with this, he wanted a good Protestant country, not even Protestant, like really kind of Protestant. So, everybody in Scotland, Protestant, Catholic, whatever, said to him, John, chill, dude, just chill. But he could not chill. So he went to England. I said to England, you've got to help me. So England said, we've got a plan. He said, all in the process has got to do with sex. Trust me, we've got a plan. We'll invade Scotland for you and set you up as a dictator of Scotland. And you will liberate Scotland from the hippies. Right, I hate hippies. So, England came and invaded Scotland and they set up John Knox to get rid of all the hippies, okay? So then John Knox, this is a very abridged version of Scottish history, okay? I accept there may be other versions of this, but it's very short. So he went to Edinburgh, John Knox's house, and go and visit it, and he stood up in the church there, and he had a list of rules, okay? And he read out these rules. The rules of things like, 1, don't be smiling. Okay, don't be smiling. Tuesdays, burn Catholics. Wednesdays, scowl a lot. Okay, Thursdays, burn Protestants that disagree with us. Burn Protestants that disagree with us. And through this list, okay, then we kind of got to the weekend. Weekend, Sundays, no using your tumble dryer on a Sunday. No tumble dryer. No playing soccer on a Sunday. And then went through all this list, and folks thought, what's going to happen next? And it came up then with the final bit that's going to explain the story I'm going to tell. He said, and another thing, he said, and he looked at them all. He looked them all in the eye, particularly the ones that looked troublesome. He said, I'm going to tell you now, no more sex! Just double check this. Monday, scowling. Tuesday, we're Catholics. Wednesday, we're scowling. Thursday, we're Protestants. No sex. Fine, got it. So John Knox was quite happy. He was doing his thing. He stepped out the kirk, okay? He stepped out the kirk and he got a shock. There was folk at it in the street. Oh my God! He went, ah! And he looked, and they're in the fields and up the closest, and they're up fucking trees doing it. What is going on? Oh, poor John Knox's beard was wilted, was shocked. He was looking about, and he was mortified. And then somebody explained to him, and it's something you need to know before we get to the story. When you invade a country and think of ban sex, which is a big thing to do, ban sex in the language of the country. At that time, nobody in Scotland had sex, okay? They had a thing called hook-magandy, okay? That's again, we'll try it, ready? Hook, Gandhi. Hook-magandy. Fantastic. Hook-magandy is a beautiful Scottish word, and it translates as vigorous hugging. Yeah, so if you're ever in Scotland, if somebody comes up to you and says, do you fancy a bit of hook-magandy? It's not a drink, it's not a dry day. Don't be saying, oh yes, the packet of crisps, because, like, anyway, so the point was, it got very complicated. Okay. Cheeky man. Okay. So now we're going to get to the story itself. That was going to be a precursor. The story is going to make me blush. So, you ready? Ready. Okay. So once upon a time in Scotland, there was a wee old man. And he was married to his wee old wife. Okay? And they loved each other very much. And they lived by a wee loch there, and he'd catch fish in the loch, and she would tend to their cow and their carrots and all that kind of stuff. They got by, they had enough money. But the thing was, they were never blessed with children. Okay, they loved each other very much, but they were never blessed with children. It was the one sorrow in their life. Alright? So one day, the wee old man, he got into his boat there, he was rowing out the loch with his net, he was going to catch some fish. So he was rowing out the loch, he was rowing, and he kind of threw his net into the water there. And he's pulling the net, and oh my goodness, the net's jumping about, he's thinking, oh my goodness, I must have a lot of fish in this net, and he's tugging, and he heaves the net into his boat. And of course the net is all shuddering, and you can see the fish, the glint, the silver of the fish, and he's looking at it, and then he heard a voice. And the voice said, let me out! And he looked, he got his knife and he opened the net, he pushed the fish aside, and in the middle of the fish was a young, beautiful, naked woman. And he was kind of looking at her, and she was looking at him. And he was saying, try not to look. I said, throw me in the water. She said, throw me in the water. I went, oh, okay, I'm an old man, I'll do that. So he kind of knelt down and was still looking away, he's a gentleman. He kind of scooped her up, make sure they didn't scoop anything, shouldn't be scooping me. And he kind of threw her in the water. And the strange thing was, the minute the woman touched the water, her kind of legs came together, and kind of fused and turned into a beautiful, long tail. For of course, she was a mermaid. And the mermaid, she kind of swam back under the water and she bopped up, she went, thank you! And the woman went, thank you. Asked her to drink the water, no, thank you very much, that was really kind of you. I said, okay. But the wee mermaid, she was really taken with the old man, okay? And she swam to the boat, she started talking to him. So of course I had to talk back to her, And we're talking away there, and she's in the water. And she's saying, I mean, thank you for throwing me back in the water. She said, I'm just a young mermaid, and I've heard such terrible stories about the men of Scotland, how they're always trying to catch the mermaids and force them to be their wives. And here are you caught me, and I asked you to throw me back in the water, and you did. So thank you very much. I went, well, no worries. I'm happy you're happy. She went, no, I really am happy. She said, because all the things I've heard, and she started chatting. And she began telling about the mermaids and the life of the mermaids and the stories and the legends of the mermaids. And the old man, he was kind of starting to listen to this, and his blushes going now. He's going to be interested. He's listening to her. And she says, you know what, I'm just a young mermaid, you know, we don't have much power. She says, but see if you try to annoy the older mermaids, oh, she said. As mermaids get older, she says, they get more magical and more powerful. Oh, she said, you wouldn't want to try and catch one of the older mermaids. Oh my goodness. They'd pull your boat down, or they'd set a shack on you, or they'd call up a storm, she said. But me, I'm just a young mermaid. I can't do that. It's nice chatting to you. And he's going to chat to her, and he begins to talk to her. He says, well, you know, not all the men of Scotland, you know, go out kidnapping women. He says, you know, he began telling stories about Scotland, the men of Scotland. He talks about the histories, and the feat of warriors, and all the legends. And she's kind of taken with this, and he's taken with her, and they're kind of looking at each other, and they're chatting away. And she's in the water chatting, and he's kind of chatting. It's like they're at a bus stop or something. They're just kind of chatting there, as you do. And as they're chatting, suddenly kind of zing, zing, zing went from her heart to zing, zing, zing his heart. Zing, zing. And he's kind of looking at her, and she's kind of looking at him. And she said, you know, for an old man, you look kind of quite strong. You have big, strong shoulders on you. He goes, oh, yeah, well, thank you. He says, for a young half fish, you get beautiful, round, large, beautiful eyes. Beautiful. You know, thank you. She blinked. She said, I guess being a strong man, you must have strong children. He says, oh, no, I've never been lucky that way. I've never had any children. You know, I've had any children as well, being a young, maybe, no, I don't know, to be that kind of thing. And then she looked at him, and he looked at her. And she said, but you know what? Maybe you and I could make children. And the old man looked at him and went, no, he said, in the name of God, no, I'm happy with my 92-year-old wife, no, I can't be doing that. And the man with a cheap blush went, no, I didn't mean that, I meant, I'll help you and your 92-year-old wife. No, dear God, no, listen. And she flipped her tail, and she made her way all the way to the bottom of the wall. And she scooped up some magic seeds. And she came all the way back up. And she leaned over and said, take these seeds. No man took the seeds. And she said, now go home, put the seeds in the porridge, feed the porridge to your wife, and your wife, she'll have babies and babies and babies for the next 10 years. I said, oh my goodness. And he gets in the boat, and he begins rowing for home. Really. He's really thinking about the porridge. Oh my goodness, he's rowing. But of course the mermaid cries out, she says, however, the first child born belongs to me. But of course the old man is focused on the porridging. He gets home, gets into the kitchen, gets a big pot, fills up with oats, fills it all up, gets his seeds in, calls out the back door to his wife. The wife's up the hill there, she's tending the cow, she's got a wee leg there. Oh, he shouts out, he says, wife, he said, wife, come to the house, we're going to have some porridge. She kind of looked at him and went, porridge? In the middle of the day, husband. Wife, I want some porridge, down here now for porridge. And she said, oh, is it Christmas? No, wife, I just fancy some porridge. Oh, porridge, is it? Porridge! She throws her stick away and she kind of hobbles down. She's into the kitchen and they begin to make porridge. They begin to make porridge together. All day and all evening with the porridge making. All the way for the porridge. The sun set and they were still making. It's a euphemism for sex. They're making the porridge. There's porridge sweats on them. They're porridged out. And they're kind of lying there, porridged out. The old man looks at his old wife. my God, she's got a bump on her belly. Boom. Oh, dear God. And so it was. For the next 10 years, she just popped out babies all over the place. Okay? But the first child born was a wee boy. 9 months later, a wee boy was born. And the boy was no sooner born than his wee mammy, she wrapped him up. She gave him to her father and said, now husband, take our son out to the water, for he will be a fisherman too. You have to show. He says, of course. So he goes into the boat, he takes his wee newborn child into the boat, he lays it down, and he rows out onto the water. And of course, who comes up but the mermaid? The mermaid pops up. Hello. Oh, hello. I see you got the babies then. Oh, first child here, yes. He says, don't you remember I told you the first child born belongs to me? And the old man went, oh, this is my first child, he's only born, and he plays a whistle, and he's fantastic. I'd really like to keep him. She says, no, she said, but I'll tell you what. Because she still had that kind of spark in her heart for the old man. She had that spark, so I'll tell you what she said. Keep your child till he's 3 years of age. But when he's 3 years of age, you must bring him to me. And he went, okay. So he rode back home, and the years went by, and up came the child's third birthday. The old man rode out to the water, but he did not bring the child. And the mermaid came up and she said, where is my child? Where is the child that belongs to me? And the old man said, I'm so sorry, I just forgot. And the mermaid was about put out with this. But she still had that spark in her heart for the old man. She said, I'll tell you what, keep your child till he's 7 years of age. But when he's 7 years of age, you must bring him to me. I will, said the old man, I will. So the years went by, and the years went by. Up came the child's 7th birthday, and the old man, did he bring him onto the water? He rode out of himself. Up came the mermaid. Where is my child? And the old man said, I'm so sorry. I just forgot. I completely forgot. And now the mermaid was getting a bit annoyed. But she still had that spark in her heart for the old man. So she said, I tell you what, you can keep your child till he's 15 years of age. But when he's 15 years of age, you must bring him to me, or by all my powers, I will punish you. And the old man said, I'll bring him when he's 15. So the years went by, and the years went by. Up came the boy's 15th birthday. And the boy woke on his 15th birthday. And he woke up and he was all excited. He was almost a man. He was 15 and he opened his eyes. And there stood his father. His father was pale. His father looked at his son and said, son, in my hand here I have a bag of gold. In this hand here I've got a bag of food. Outside there's a horse. Go on the horse, leave Scotland and never come back. And the boy knew from his father's face that he had to do it. He took the gold, he took the food, he got on the horse, and he left Scotland, and he never came back. And so the old man rowed out onto the water, out he rowed, and of course up came the mermaid. And the mermaid looked at him and said, where is my son? And the old man said, I'm so sorry, I was going to bring him, but this time he's run away and I do not know where he is. And now the mermaid, oh my goodness, she was filled with rage and anger, and she flipped her tail and she bounced on the water. She bounced on the water, she raised her hand, and now she was looking down into the boat, looking down into the wee old man who was looking at her, and she was raising her hands, and the wind came up. And the water began to move, and her hair was moving, her eyes were blazing, the rage that was on her. And she was so angry, and all the thoughts that went through her head, all the ways she could punish this man who betrayed her. Would she go to a shark on him, or a storm on him, or just pull his boat down and drown him? The rage that was in him, he was quivering with fear, and the wind was coming up, the sky was darkening. And even in that moment, she still had that spark in her heart for the old man. So instead of destroying him, she flipped her tail and she swam the length of the loch. She swam the length of the loch and she left and she never returned. And as she swam, every single fish in the loch, from the smallest little fish to the largest pike, they followed her like a beautiful silver trail. And every fish left the loch as well. And from that day to this, there has never been a fish caught there since. Thank you.